Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tony Monaco Show. Today I feel like playing a little music, so hope you enjoy. Feel free to ask me some questions about music or anything, why not, right? Glad to see y'all. Happy Saturday. God bless you. I think you're gonna like this one. I like it. Hey, Rita. Yeah. Malcolm, welcome then. From the UK, we got Idaho. What? Yeah, I don't even know the name of that tune. I just was thinking about a Jimmy Smith record this morning, and I remember that tune. I don't know the name. I don't even remember the album. I think it was on Bluesmith. Maybe. But, you know, sometimes these songs remain in your heart forever, you know, special grooves, things that you learned in the process. And music is a process. It's a lifelong journey process. And I'm still not done. That's the beautiful thing about being a musician, is that we're alive every moment of our life. And so are you. And that's a cool thing, isn't it? When you play music, you get to be in the moment, and I believe that's where life happens. And I put a couple links down at the bottom of this broadcast today. Good morning. Many of you know that I really enjoy doing fundraising just because it feels good to me to do. And I ask people like you to help me. Sometimes play music, donate some music for me to play, so that maybe others can discover you. And in the process, maybe give some money to help these children that are like seriously displaced in Ukraine. So the first link that you will see on the bottom is Save the Children. It's a campaign that is ongoing. It wasn't over after my 22-hour broadcast. I almost made it. Darn it. It was hard. Now I have a backup plan. If I ever decide to do something like that again for 24 hours, I definitely got to have a backup plan. I thought about it when I woke up after I finally fell asleep, how I could have made it. But that didn't mean that was the end of the campaign. That was just the end of my day. And the campaign continues because there's children just all over Ukraine that need our help. I don't know if you're paying attention to some of the headlines, but I don't know if you saw a few days ago, humanitarian aid was stolen that was supposed to be there for the Ukrainian people to aid them. It was stolen by the soldiers of the other side. I don't even want to mention the name. And all that hard work we did was looted by criminals. And so we have to continue to give. We don't give up in these times. We fight back harder. One of my heroes these days, and my new model of how to be a human being, you know who it is. God bless you. You're winning. Because you're a winner. Yeah. So winners win. And so please, ladies and gentlemen, children, anyone, if you've got a few dollars to give or something, please consider giving to Save the Children. It just breaks my heart every day to read the headlines about these millions of children now that are displaced. And having children of my own, and some of you have too, you know how important they are. And just because this is not happening in your backyard doesn't mean it's not happening. It really is happening. And I have videos that I played during the broadcast that share some of the live video that was taken right there. So please consider giving to Ukraine to Save the Children, a noble cause. It gives 80% of the money that you give. 85%. And that's one of the highest percentages of humanitarian aid that goes to the cause rather than the charity that's holding the cause. So I'm here. I always do charity work because it makes me feel better. Please consider giving. This t-shirt, by the way, is my new t-shirt. It's the Four Brothers nice cotton t-shirt. See, it's got writing on both sides. Got the credits on the back. Pardon my back, everyone. Pardon my back. Don't like to have my back to the audience, but see, it's a nice, comfortable cotton t-shirt, and it's for sale at my website. And if you go there, the link is on the bottom. You can buy a CD, the new Four Brothers CD. It has been officially released. You can get an autographed copy. I know, some of you don't have CD players. I'm sorry. It's better quality. That's what I know. And you should keep at least one, just like a record player. Like, what if you want to buy some vinyl, right? So, Darlene, it's good to see you again, man. I missed you. Hi, Larry. Welcome to the show. We're talking about saving the children in Ukraine. So please consider giving. That campaign is ongoing and needs desperate help, especially with looting going on of humanitarian aid. Can you believe that? That's the new lowest level I've ever heard. All right. Well, let's swing. Let's just swing our day right on through, because that's what I like to do. So I'm going to swing. I'm going to play today. Let's see. I want to get it on the medium upside so that it's driving. Let's try this one. Yeah. I like this groove. This is one of my favorite because it just swings. Right? Thanks, John. Hey, what's going on? Out of nowhere. That's a fun song. I'm getting my chops back together right now. I haven't played much. It took a few weeks, just slow down to get my mind after the last long marathon. Took a lot out of me, and I had to slow it down just for a minute to get my, self back. So I'm back. I've got a lot of wonderful things coming up. I got a gig this Thursday in Hamilton, Canada. So all my Canada friends, man, Gordy, Debbie. Yeah, I want to come and see you guys. I'm going to be in Hamilton on Thursday night, the 7th of April, at the Gasworks, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Going to see all my friends and eat one of my favorite foods, poutine. It tastes great about 2 a.m. And when you go to Canada, when you're with all your friends, you can't go to bed till then. So you got to go have some poutine first, and then we go to bed. Never tastes so good about that time in the morning. I can't wait. I really can't. There's like poutine joints everywhere. And my friend Ronnie Cash, he'll be probably escorting me through the city, showing me the finest poutines available. We ain't 20 no more. When did you figure that out? I haven't figured that out yet. Later on this month, I'll be in the West Coast. So those of you that live on the LA side, I'll be at Newport Beach at the end of the month. Let me see what the calendar dates are. Oh, gee, I'm not even prepared to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyhow. I'll figure it out. One moment. I realize I am the sponsor of this show. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see. All right. Okay, on Tuesday the 26th, I'll be in Newport Beach. I'll be having all these events posted on my calendar soon. You can visit my website down at the bottom. By the way, hey man, if you're feeling like generous today, you can give to the children. You can give to me too, you know, man. I'm still working for a living. You know. And so the 26th, I'll be here in Newport Beach. That's a Tuesday night. And then on Friday night, I'll be in Boulder, Colorado, one of my favorite places. Greatest people, man, Mr. Suter, at the Cafe Soleil in Boulder, Colorado. And I'll be on Saturday night, the 30th, in Denver at the Nocturne Jazz Club in Denver. So I'll be on the West Coast and Canada this month. Looking forward to seeing all of my friends again and getting out. I just read a report this morning, though. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you know reality is the best way to live, and it happens right now. They're showing that this unfortunate virus that we're not done with yet is kind of like, because no one's wearing masks anymore, being safe and following those little simple things, you know, like washing your hands and masks in close public and stuff. The virus is doing its thing again, and that means that the music business is going to be on hold a little bit longer. So that's the reality of it. I know that we all want to act and think that everything's back to normal, but guess what? For my life, as it was, it's going to be a long time coming before it even comes close to whatever normal was, and that would have been yesterday's normal. I just hope we don't normalize lower. I hope we go up as a society. One way to do that is to be generous and kind and loving to your neighbors, and think about what you can do to better things rather than what you can do to either A, get out from it, get away from not doing it. That's not being responsible to the whole human race. And also trying to see what you can get out of it. I think it's time to stop looking that way. I think it's time to looking at what can I do to give back. We've got a lot of giving back to do. Save the Children down there is a link that you can help some kids. This particular campaign goes directly to Ukraine. And like I said earlier, it was disheartening to see that soldiers of the other side had gone and stolen humanitarian aid. This is the stuff we're doing right now. So we don't stop when that happens. We have to give more, unfortunately. It's not over. So please consider that. That last song was out of nowhere. I'm swinging in G. And if you notice, I'm trying to work on a couple of things while I'm playing today. I'm trying to get my hand separation back. So if you notice me being a little bit like a little extra, like, you know, dramatic on things, it's because I'm practicing. So I can practice while I'm performing. It's totally possible to know that you can try things that are going to work. So I'm trying to do some extra fills in between. So most people like focus on the music, like especially when you watch organ players. I know for me it was true. As I look at the right hand, you know, what's all the fast notes that they're playing. But none of that really can sound good if you don't have a solid groove and bass line. Hey, John, gosh, I miss you. Geez, Anita, how are you? Wow, that was one of our friends that helped us with Save the Children. God bless you guys. That's Italy. Italia, come stai? Tutto bene in Italia? Mio genitore sono dall'Italia e ho venuto qui dopo la guerra seconda. And so I'm very, as you know, touched by war. I was raised by immigrants that came after the war, War II. So there you go. I'm first generation Italian American. All right. Isn't it wonderful? We should all be proud to say what we are and who we are. And there should never be any shame. That's not God's stuff. That's human stuff. All right. Let's funk. I'm feeling it. I think I want a little faster. Hey man, you know, I dig the tunes I write sometimes. And this new album, Four Brothers. Remember, you could buy an album, you could buy a CD, and a t-shirt. Cotton. Very comfortable. This has been washed. Fits perfect. Right? Let me get the sounds right. Here we go. I like these changes. Another thing I try to practice is how to be like real efficient with my energy level and still play a lot of things. See, I'm not wasting a lot of energy. You can notice I'm not out of breath, but I'm still playing a lot of notes. Fiore! So I'm trying to coordinate my left hand and my feet together. How do you like that one? How about some changes? Hey, Lyle. Long time, man. What's going on? How's Pittsburgh? Oh, great. Hey, Rudolph, how you doing, brother? Hey, Bill. Blessings to you. And yeah, man, I get it, man. We're all one people. And we've got to learn to take care of each other. I'm here to support the people of Ukraine. And I'm proud of them. I really am. Because they're kicking A, man. Because they're not giving up. They're not going to take that. That's what we got to start doing. We got to start standing up to that. And I think it's happening. I think we're going to be able to, continue to have the best by the good doers. I heard somebody say it a different way. The do-gooders. The do-gooders. See, I have this philosophy that, just like tritones, we got polar opposites. And so we've got this balance. It's like imagine the scale. You put a couple things over here and it falls down and you try to balance it out. Then it gets a little heavy like that. Think of that kind of scale, a real scale. And sometimes the world gets a little heavy on the not so do-gooders. The bad doers, the do-badders, whatever you call them, right? And then you need more good doers or do-gooders. Yeah. So that's what we got to do right now. We got to do more good doing, and that's how we're gonna put it back on this side. So, please, ladies and gentlemen, there's a link down there. The war is still going. Children are still needing, probably long after the war. So, if you've given once, give again. It's not over. I found that this little thing happens when we do good things. One is the biggest benefit that we don't realize. If you can stop counting the fact that you gave away something that you earned, just think about it as a gift. Like when you give a gift, think of it only that way. Comes from your heart, right? And you give it. And when you give it, you've given an opportunity for love. And that's what really is the deal. And so when you give it, and you forget about it. That's what you do. And it feels good. And then it's kind of like an insurance policy. But it's an insurance policy that's written towards the greater good. And I like to keep my insurance policy paid up in full and then some. So that someday when I need to use it, I got it. So please, thank you. God bless you. Sorry to be on a soapbox, but you know me. I do things like that. This is my website, by the way. If you visited b3monaco.com, here, let me throw a link down there. Just in case. There's one down at the very bottom, just in case you can't find that one. Look at this one. And if you visit my website, you can check out all kinds of stuff. I got all kinds of stuff. So CDs, T-shirts, instructional videos. I have a school. It's only $14.99 a month, and it's constantly being replenished with new videos from classes and personal videos. Great way to learn impersonally, and that's good, And, of course, this is my new Saturday show that I'm enjoying, just being who I am, playing music, enjoying it. And if you enjoy it, you can actually tip. Just write it there. You just add $5 or $10 or $25 or $50 or $100, or you could hit that 100 a few times. I don't mind. God bless you all. Thanks for joining me on this Saturday. That was You Can Count on Me, a song that I wrote for my son. And I like those kind of chord changes, and I like that somebody recognized that they were Stevie Wonder. So, yeah, the first part sounds a lot like Stevie Wonder. The second part, the bridge, as they call the bridge of the nose, sounds a little bit more like Joe Beam changes. And isn't that interesting? Certain changes that certain people developed became known as their changes, like Parker changes, right? We got Parker changes. Don't forget Parker changes. And our lesson today in the group that's coming on, is on a song called Someday My Prince Will Come. So if you go to my website and visit the calendar page, you can come here on Saturday and you can join the group for $15 only. You buy a ticket. I'll be sending you a link via a Zoom meeting. Some really fine people from Europe and America joining. And we got some really cool classes. Today we're going to talk about something that I can incorporate Parker changes to. And it's a little song that I really enjoy playing called Someday My Prince Will Come. And I found a way to insert the Parker changes in that. So what happens with certain chord changes is they become so good that people like to write new melodies to them. That's called a contrafact. So my song, I'll Remember Jimmy, is a contrafact to Parker changes of confirmation. It's a little change in the bridge, not the bridge of my nose. And that song, like you recognize some Stevie Wonder changes. Another changes that are used an awful lot are rhythm changes from the song Rhythm. And of course, there's blues, So today at 1:30, in just about 45, 46, 47 minutes, you'll be able to join a great group as we discuss Someday My Prince Will Come. Great song. I love those changes. And we'll look at it, So... Hey, Mike. How's everything, Mike? I'm just glad to see all my friends here. Isn't it a wonderful thing? Yeah. Okay, I'd like to do that song. I love this. Tritones. There's a lot of fingers moving. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's called Someday My Prince Will Come. Hey, thanks, man. Well, you know, the accordion really did help me. That's probably why I'm such a strong left-hand bass player, is because before I transferred to actually playing the organ, I was playing Jimmy Smith stuff, learning it on an accordion first. I had a Chordavox, which was an electronic instrument, and it could play through a Leslie speaker, and it sounded like a B3. And I learned how to walk bass with just the bass buttons. You know, there's only 2 rows of bass. The rest of them are all chords, major, minor, diminished, all that stuff. So you got the 2 buttons, and they're figured in fifths and fourths. And I forget the array of the button to the side, because the middle, the one right inside is the main one, and then the one right on the outside. So you could learn how to walk bass lines. The only thing is they would always be 1 octave. I think there's some new ways to new accordions where you can flip switches, I think. I don't know, man, how you could do that on top of everything, but it's all about how you learn it, you know, really. It really is. Now, many of you are going to ask, you know, some of the questions like, you know, how do you do those bass things like this? Like when I slide, boom. And why can't you do that on your clone? Well, that's because when I do this, I'm not going all the way. But when you play a clone, unfortunately, unless it has a multi-contact array keyboard like the XK5 or the MK Mark IIs and 1s, they're not going to get this. You're just going to get that. So the only way to get that to sound similar to what I'm doing, see, I use it like a paintbrush. You know, like sometimes you can load more paint on the brush, and or sometimes you just put a little bit. See? Little bit. A little bit of paint on the brush. A lot of paint on the brush. Got it? Can't get those degrees on a clone. So when I'm playing on a real organ, remember that a lot of the dynamics that are happening are not happening from the expression pedal. I'm using the expression pedal minimally, as we described on earlier shows. I think last week or the week before. I didn't show up last week. I was kind of sick. Sorry about that, by the way, everyone. Just feeling ill. I'm okay, thank God. Hey, Randall. Nice to see you, sir. God bless you, man. So anyhow, when you play the real deal, you can do things that you can't do on clones. That's not to say you can't get it on clones. You can. So now remember that when the first Hammond B3 came out, you know, it was like, okay, this is the new model, right? 1955. This one right here is 1955. This was the first year that they changed from B2 to B3. They added these percussion things to it. All right. So remember that I looked at it, and Jimmy Smith looked at it, and all the organ players that play look at it as a synthesizer. What can I do with this thing? What can I make it sound? How can I use it? So believe you, or me, that if those guys had their hands on clones first, because this didn't exist, they would have figured out how to do different things with that. So try to get the authenticity out of the instrument that you can, but also understand the differences in how you can be actually different, how you can actually separate yourself from not sounding like everyone else. That's how you develop a unique style and sound. So use your instrument, no matter what you have. Learn how to play it. That's the real thing you want to do. Then you could decide whether you need a faster car, bigger engine, whatever, right? First, learn how to drive. So one of the things I suggest in the beginning of learning is really learning your turnarounds. I think Mr. Deschler mentioned that earlier about the 1625, 3625s. It's important to get to really know your turnarounds. That's how you're able to get from one place to another place smoothly, like I do. You know, just transfer, right? You kind of think it's like really cool because it's coming, rather than, some change is coming. I welcome them. I make them welcome to the next change, right? That's how you play. Waterfall keys. Waterfall keys are only important to me, to be honest with you, if I was going to be sliding like this with the palm of my hands, okay? Because the waterfall keys were designed with the edge here. Let me take the camera down. With the edge here, see how it's rounded? Right here. There's no like thing sticking out here. So when you rub your palm like this, a synthesizer key would have a hole in here, right? And a piano style key would be, right? So it's not only the touch sensitivity, he's talking about waterfall keys because they just go straight down like a little rectangle, right? That's what waterfall keys are used for. Now, many of you who know that because I play so much left-hand bass, a lot of times the waterfall keys would be used by the left hand. And when you see a lot of keyboard players that play in bands that are not playing the bass and they're free, you'll see that their left hand does a lot of, they do a lot of that. Slide in and out of keys that way. Right? So you get the fast Leslie. Rev it up like that, right? Well, I don't have this hand because it's tied down to playing the bass. So I learned how to do the waterfall key method of sliding by just using the fingertips on the top of the keyboard. So to me, what matters more is how it responds in terms of the trigger point, where it triggers, because I'm going this way. I'm not even touching the sides. See what sounds better to you. This is more like a paintbrush. A lot of degree, little bit of degree. See? Little bit of degree. A lot of degree. Okay, so if I'm going to play. See me slide on the top. See? I don't even get near that. I can't go fast enough. Good night, everybody. Good afternoon, whatever it is. We'll see you soon. Hopefully, a Thursday night, April the 7th, Ontario, Canada, Gasworks. We'll see you there. There you go. Have a great afternoon. God bless you all. Thank you very much.